Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Well, hello there, and welcome to episode number 72 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim the Glide Van Stratton, and alongside me is Rodney Newpol, live from heaven, apparently. He has some sort of angelic glow behind him. So, Rodney, I know it's been a while since we talked. It's been a couple nights. I did not realize that you passed away and moved on to heavenly, eternal paradise. So, but thank you for tuning for joining the show today.
If you didn't know better, you would think it's really bright out this morning, but that's actually just like Canadian wildfire haze out there this morning. It's actually very hazy, but yeah, I need some kind of window protection stuff here. Anyways, yes, good morning and welcome to the Stupidest Sports Show, episode 72. And boy, do I have a surprise for you today.
Yeah. I blindsided you on Tuesday with some blind rankings, and I joined the room today, right before the show, and saw that you prepared today's show, which included blindsiding me. With blind rankings.
Yeah. And we're going to do NBA head coaches. So good luck with that. And I did basically come up with, so I picked the 10, but I put them in random order. I put them in a randomizer is what I did. So I had no say in what order they were. I kind of tried to take it like you did, where I have a few established,
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
You established a few young ones. There we go.
All right. I want as little information as possible. I want to honor the sanctity of the blind rankings that you stole from me, which I stole from someone else who stole it from someone who did this 15 years ago.
Correct.
And got no credit.
That's basically how sports talk goes these days. Is somebody hears something they like and they're like, I got an idea. We could do that. And just it is what it is. But
I made a career out of that on the radio.
Yeah.
That's a fun thing to talk about. And there you go. Because a lot of times, I mean, you did it before I did, so it's like, I got to talk for an hour straight in 3 minutes. I should probably figure out something to say.
Figure it out. Yeah. Let's start today with those Indiana Pacers, man. The yes sirs. The Indiana Pacers absolutely cannot and will not die. Like, several times last night it looked like, okay, they're competing-ish, but they just can't quite get there. They led for 0.3 seconds last night as Halliburton hit the game-winning shot. We're going to get to Halliburton here in a minute, but thoughts on the Pacers Thunder game one, and does it change your series thoughts? Obviously it does some, but where are you heading here with Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder?
I mean, I still take the Thunder overall, but it kind of has to change a little bit, right? Because it's at a point now where you look at the Pacers and you say, my God, if you're not up by 25 points, they're in it. Like, what is the number if you're the Thunder or any team that's playing the Pacers? What's the number of points that you need to be up by before you start to feel like, you know what, we don't have to play too chaotic. It's all right. We have a good lead. I'm feeling good about this game. What's the number? Because OKC was up by as much as 15 yesterday with I don't know, I think they were up 15 with maybe just under 8 minutes left, something like that. And at that point it was like, okay, it's done. Like, in my mind, it was done. Clearly 15 is not enough though. Like, what's the number for you? I mean, fourth quarter, you better get up 20, right? I mean, but if you're up 20 at half, that's not enough, right? I mean, Indiana obviously shown that they can score in bunches and apparently get enough stops to stay in game two. That's kind of what surprises me, is that Oklahoma City didn't score enough to keep that lead. Now, what was it, 111, 110? So it was right around the number that we talked about on Tuesday's show. But I think it's got to be like 20 in the fourth quarter, and you're kind of at that point where it's like, okay, I think we're going to win, but we still better at least try and keep our starters in here.
Yeah, I don't know a good number, but every number that they've seen so far in this postseason, they're finding a way to erase.
Can we agree that even before like the shot, right? And the ending, can we agree that this was one of the weirder games, like weirder NBA Finals games that we've seen in a while? Just let's start from the beginning here, where the Pacers had 9 turnovers before the first quarter even ended.
Yeah.
They finished the game with 25 turnovers. The Thunder had 7. So a team that was minus 18 in turnover differential won the game on the road. They were down as much as 15 points. I think the largest deficit they faced in sort of that crunch time, that under 3 minutes, they were down 9 points with about 2.5 minutes left.
Wow. Yeah.
But continuing on with the weirdness, where the entire game was seemingly the Thunder would be up by 11, then it's down to 8, then it's back to 10, then it's to 12, but then it's down to 9. And it's like between that 9 and 13 point range for about 2.5 quarters.
Uh-huh.
And I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting for OKC to finally go on that 12-0 run. Suddenly it's a 22-point game, and it's like, all right, it's done. And it never happened. Never happened. Every single time that you would think that OKC, Lou Dort had 5 threes, right? Lou Dort would hit a huge shot. SGA would have an incredible move to the line. Every single time it was seemingly answered by Indiana on the other side. Obi Toppin was huge for them off the bench. He hit what? How many threes did Obi have? He was 5 for 8 from 3. He was huge. Miles Turner came alive in the second half. He hit some huge shots for them. I mean, like, that's the thing too. Like, Indiana was doing this without really getting anything offensively from Halliburton.
Right.
We're going to talk about Halliburton here in a second, but Tyrese Halliburton, at least to me, felt like a no-show for 47 minutes of that game. I mean, down the stretch, he wasn't even the one that had the ball. Nembhard was the one that was controlling the ball for them.
Yeah, but to kind of talk about what you talked about just a bit ago, Oklahoma City didn't even play that poorly, right?
Well, no, defensively they were great, and that's like, Indiana was sloppy, but OKC forced a lot of those turnovers.
Yeah,
they forced a lot of those turnovers. Defensively was incredible, but OKC also shot 36% from 3.
Yeah,
they shot just under 40% as a team. Your Chet Holmgren was terrible. Like, he 2 for 9. He was bad.
And Jalen Williams was 6 for 19, so that's not great.
Yeah, wasn't great. And SGA, he had 38 points, but he also took 30 shots.
30 shots, yeah.
So, like, didn't love his shot choice. Cason Wallace they put him out there as a potential option to guard Halliburton, and he did okay. He did okay for them. I understand why they went small. Obviously, Caruso still played a lot of minutes for them off the bench, but like, really, like, Lou Dort was their only, and Hartenstein. Hartenstein played really well too. Lou Dort and Hartenstein were like the two guys who were very like efficient, and when it felt like they were out there, the Thunder weren't really letting bad things happen on the other side. But the Holmgren minutes, Wallace, Jalen Williams, like, they just weren't very sharp. It was weird.
Yeah, I find it interesting. Such a Pacer stat last night. Pacers with 6 guys scoring double figures in the game, and 3 of them with double doubles. 3 guys with double doubles last night. Siakam 19 and 10, Nesmith 10 and 12, and Halliburton 14 and 10. That's what the Pacers have done. We talked about this. Like, they drive you crazy because everybody they put on the floor can score or rebound or pass the ball. But yeah, six guys, and their highest score was 19 points. Like, you don't get that real often in an NBA Finals game where, like, you win a game, you score 100+ points, and you only get one. You don't even get a guy at 20 points. Like, that's pretty rare. I'd like to see that, actually, see that stat.
How do both of these teams have 18 guard/wing combo players?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
like,
right.
They all have the same exact player. Every single guy that OKC has in their rotation is seemingly one of those like tweener guard wings who can like it was like a 3-and-D guy, and then Indiana the same thing with Nemhard, with Neesmith, with Matherin, with Shepard. Like it's crazy that they all have this like similar player, and I think we saw it last night. Like when we talked on Tuesday, a big point we were trying to hit was that these two teams are very evenly constructed. Like the way the rosters are constructed, just OKC is pretty much better at all the spots, with the exception of like that stretch 4 where it's Siakam, you take over Jalen Williams.
Right.
But like other than that, it's like, yeah, OKC is exactly like Indiana, but just better versions of it. And I think we saw that yesterday for the most part, but I can't get over how the Pacers continue to do this. Yeah. Every single round this postseason, they've had a comeback this way.
Yeah, not just a comeback, like an epic comeback.
Yeah. I saw the image here. So Pacers were down by 7 points against Milwaukee with 34 seconds left in overtime. They were down by 7 points against Cleveland with 46 seconds left in regulation. They were down by 9 points with 52 seconds left in the fourth against the Knicks. Last night, they were down 9 points with 2.5 minutes left at the Thunder. The Pacers won all those games.
So like 32 points in like 4 minutes of game time, basically, is what that is. That's pretty crazy. Like if you're down 32 and you come back in the last 4 minutes, I know they did it in 4 separate games. This is a one, but that's insane. That is insane. And it just goes to show that they can score in bunches. And if they can get stops, they become, really hard to beat because they do have so many options scoring wise. I did want to get to Tyrese Halliburton. Do you have any more on non-Halliburton talk here?
No, I just wanted to. I saved a bunch of stats from like to put into context this history that the Pacers are making. I was just going to ask which one was your favorite out of them.
I mean, I like that last one a lot. Like 4 games and all the different times that they came, because I did the quick math in my head. Again, it was like 32 points comeback in 4 minutes. Like literally like 8 points a minute. They gain. They don't just score the 8 points a minute. They're gaining in an NBA game where that's Giannis, that's Tatum, not
Tatum, like Mitchell and the Cavs.
Mitchell, and then it's Jalen Brunson and it's SGA. Like it's not like they're going against the best of the best here. Like
three of those were on the road too. Actually, and you know what? So the Cleveland comeback. That was game 2.
Yeah,
so that was Cleveland. Game 2. The Knicks one was game 1, and then last night was game 1 as well. Yeah, so they're doing this. They're doing this early in the series.
Yeah, early in the series and on the road. It's impressive. And it was funny to kind of see the Oklahoma City fans last night as Halliburton had that ball. You could already see them with their hands over their head, like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." We know what's happening.
We knew he was going to hit the shot, right?
I mean, you would think, but he was not playing very well. Was poor for most of the night. But let's get to this. So let me ask you this: Tyrese Halliburton's postseason in 2025 will be remembered how? This is such a radio cliche segment here. I love it. This is what you do in radio. Tyrese Halliburton's postseason in 2025 will be remembered blank.
I would love. This is the problem. Like, I feel like people get so caught up in, oh, well, if he didn't win a ring, then we're going to forget about everything that someone did in the postseason.
Right.
My hope is that regardless of what happens in the series, Tyrese Halliburton's postseason will be remembered the way that we should all remember, which is the most clutch postseason performance in NBA history. History. And I don't think that is hyperbolizing. I think that you look at there are statistical, and not to get, too down in the weeds here. This is the Stupidest Sports Show, but like the nerds can crunch the numbers and conclusively prove that Tyrese Halliburton's clutch shooting, based on like the win probability that was added by the shots that he was hitting, is higher than anyone that's ever been in any NBA postseason ever. It's better than LeBron. It's better than Jordan. it's better than whoever. Throw anyone out there in terms of their clutch performance, like when they hit shots, what the moments were, their efficiency hitting those shots, and Halliburton, I think, is going to be above all of them.
But what you're saying is if they lose this series,
it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
No, but a good chunk of people are going to ignore it.
Well, yeah, if they lose the series, like if OKC goes and handles business and it's a 5-game series, we're going to remember OKC being the champions. We'll remember the Pacers run.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to remember this game. Everyone's going to remember the Knicks, like that comeback, right? I don't know, though, is if historically we'll go on and we'll say, okay, yeah, that was also the Tyrese Halliburton year where he had one of the best clutch postseasons, because he's not scoring 35 a game for them, but he's hitting clutch shots. So it's a little different. Like and the reason that I think that we might forget a little bit about Halliburton is because, like 2018, do you think that a lot of people remember how good LeBron was in the 2018 postseason for Cleveland? I mean, when Cleveland went to the finals and got swept, got their ass handed to them by Golden State again. I think people remember Golden State winning.
Yeah.
I don't know if people realize and remember how insane LeBron was in that postseason to even get them there. And that's LeBron James we're talking about.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people forget that, and obviously you have the whole LeBron hater side, so they want to forget that, and they want to see he couldn't get it done in the finals. But so that's to my next point here. What if the Pacers do win the finals, and Halliburton does not win Finals MVP? So he doesn't win Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
It would be remembered. It'd be remembered. It'd be remembered. Like, I think so.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about this on Tuesday's show. Did Halliburton get screwed from the Eastern Conference Finals, or do you think Siakam deserved it?
It was pretty close. I would have been fine with either one. I was fine with Siakam.
Do they not give co-Eastern Conference MVPs? I mean, is that very rare?
I would assume so. I'd be shocked if they did. Yeah,
because it would have seemed like an opportunity to do both, right? Because I don't know as if you could have a distinguished, definitive argument between the two. I did see the video where Halliburton looked like he was pretty shocked he didn't get it, but I don't know.
He was like, "Oh, hold on." He's talking to someone. He's like, "Oh, hold on 1 second here. I might need to collect my trophy here." Is that what you're talking about?
Didn't win it, but so I find that interesting on Halliburton, and I'm now curious how the rest of this series is going to go. Now they have 2 days off. They don't go again until Sunday. It's the goofy NBA Finals taking 2 days off. Game 3 is 2 days later on Wednesday. They love to drag this out. Game 4 on Friday. Game 5 on Monday the 16th. 2 more days off for Game 6 on the 19th, and 2 more days off until the 22nd. NBA Finals Game 7 will end on the 22nd, so 16 days from now. But that gives us some content here in June, I guess. It gives us some content. But
doing it for the podcasters.
Final prediction of the day for this series. You can change. I can change too. We both took Oklahoma City in 5. No.
Yeah.
Let's go the distance. I'm going 7. I'm going 7.
7.
Now. Yeah, I'm going Oklahoma City in 7. Indiana's going to find a way at home, and maybe 2 wins at home, and maybe I don't.
They don't die.
It's going 7.
2 wins at home, Rodney. Then you're talking about Indiana being up 3-1 in that series.
They could grab Game 6.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they could grab Game 6. So Oklahoma City wins Game 2. Indiana grabs Game 3. Oklahoma City wins 4 and 5. Indiana grabs 6, and then it goes Game 7. I'll say Thunder in 7 now is my updated prediction.
I'll push it to 6 for me.
Thunder went on the road in Game 6. Okay. Let's see. What if I told Dan? Dan has a couple texts here. When stacking up all-time playoff performances, regardless of which team wins the title, Halliburton's postseason will be underrated. I probably agree there. I would tend to agree. And what if I told you SGA has 99 more free throw attempts this postseason than Halliburton? I don't think either of us would be surprised. We know this is the game that that
it's not
SGA.
Halliburton's game either. He
No,
he's not going to attack the basket. He's a true point guard. He's a distributor. He shoots outside. Like his game is totally different than SGA's game.
in fact, Halliburton did not shoot a free throw the entire game yesterday, and in game 6 against the Knicks, shot 1. So the dude's just not getting to the free throw line.
Yeah. By the way, I pointed that out yesterday during the game where early on in the fourth quarter, SGA had 2 free throw attempts.
Yeah.
So all the foul baiting free throw merchant complainers and whiners were awfully quiet yesterday. And you know what I think I liked yesterday's game though? Like it at least later on in the game you had more free throws, but it felt like the first 3 quarters like we weren't seeing constant stoppages to get into the line. Like there was a good flow in the game. Like the game flowed really well. Can I have a couple more? I have a couple more finals thoughts and observations real quick. I tweeted this last night. One thing that is going to be completely forgotten about yesterday's game is the fact that Pascal Siakam went to the free throw line and missed 2 free throws. Yet the second one was whistled dead because of a OKC lane violation that allowed Siakam to get another free throw attempt, which he made. In hindsight, Rodney, that 1 point ended up being pretty damn important in this game. Because if they don't call a lane, and it's funny, Mike Breen on that says you can watch years of playoff basketball and never seen a lane violation called. Like he was like, wow, this is so rare. If that doesn't happen and it's just normal 2 misses for Siakam, Halliburton's shot ties the game. Yeah. And then we go to overtime, and who knows what happens there. Like we're going to forget that completely. But that was a pretty damn important moment. And you can look at other moments too. Pacers had, I think, back-to-back possessions where, at the end of the shot clock, they were able to get a point. Like Siakam caught a blocked 3 and was able to just put it up right under the basket right before the shot clock expired. Say that like there was all these little moments that you can look at throughout the game that led to their comeback.
And I think that's what the Pacers do well is they take advantage of every opportunity they get, whether it is at the end of a shot clock, end of a quarter, or whatever. Because it's coaches talk, it's coaches cliche here, but like all 48 minutes matter, and we saw that 0.3. They led by 0.3 seconds. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then one more thing, and this is not really game related, but I just need to throw this out there. And I saw a lot of people online pointing this out and complaining, and I'm in total alignment with them. What happened to when you turn into an NBA Finals game and you see the Larry O'Brien logo at half court, and you see the starting lineup introductions, and you see the anthem, and you see the finals logo on the court or on the uniforms? We used to see all of that.
Yeah.
Last night, besides them saying in the scoreboard, "Oh, the finals presented by YouTube TV," would you have any idea that it was an NBA Finals game?
Yeah, that's a good point. It seems to have gone away. You're 100% right there.
Like we're putting so much effort into the NBA Cup with court designs, with all these things to make the NBA Cup feel huge, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have to take away from the NBA Finals. Like you look at what they put into setting the stage for the NBA Finals 10 years ago even versus what they do now. It doesn't even feel like it's a finals game. So that's like my old man complaint. I don't know why we took that away, but it makes me sad and we should bring it back. Like even just the logo at half court, man. Even that, so where it feels like I'm watching a championship.
Right. No, I agree with you. You're right. Like tuning into the normal person didn't know it was finals. Be like, oh, there's an NBA game on. They wouldn't even know it was NBA finals. I'm in agreement with you there. Bring it back. We're both old men with our get off our lawn here. But all right. Hey, I got a hot take in hockey, and I know Dan's sticking around. Dan's sticking around for this one. The 2025 Stanley Cup Finals will see 7 straight overtime games. That's my hot take. They'll see 7 straight overtime games.
Yeah.
7 straight. That's hard to do. But this is the series. These two teams evenly matched. Both teams playing well. I see 7 straight until the Oilers go up 6-0 tonight. I believe that's going to happen. Your thoughts on my hot take?
I love the boldness of it. I want it to happen. If it's a legitimate prediction, I want you drug tested. But I love it, and I would love to see it happen. That's a lot of hockey, man. And like, can I say this though about Game 1? Like, very evenly matched, but the Oilers kicked their ass a little bit. The Panthers were leading for most of that game. You know, they scored the 2 quick goals in the first. They got a goal second there. They were holding on to the 3-2 lead. This is the first time in the Paul Maurice era that the Panthers lost a postseason game that they were leading after the first or second period.
Okay.
And that Paul Maurice era includes now 3 Stanley Cup runs. That's a lot of playoff hockey. So that's insane. But like, Oilers outshot them by 14. They looked faster. They scored first. They scored last. Draisaitl and McDavid each had a couple points. I thought Edmonton definitely played much better than Florida did. Now, it wouldn't be surprised me at all if the Panthers come out in Game 2 and win tonight, because that's just what they do. But I think the Oilers, that was a game last night or 2 nights ago where Edmonton knows that they played better. They played faster. They were getting great opportunities. That was a game where they would have been gutted if they ended up losing, because those are the types of games, if you're going to dethrone the champs, like, you got to win. And right. Edmonton was able to do that. But
so on the other side, though, Florida's got to feel, hey, like, we're right there. Like, okay, yes, we're down 1-0 in a series. We lost at home. They needed this one more than we did. You know, if you're Florida, now, you know, play well tonight. Now you got a chance to even it back up before you go to Sunrise. So, but obviously I'd have to get good odds to bet this, but I do think we're going to see multiple. Should I say it 7 times? Multiple overtimes in this series.
We'll see at least one more. At least. Emphasis there. Because I don't want to undercut your take, because I really like your strong take. But we will see at least one more game go overtime. You know what would be great if this series has a Game 7 that does go into overtime.
Yeah. No, it would be. It would be. Ron is joining us today. Good morning, Ron. Thanks for joining us. He's on vacation. It's so funny he says this, because you're so right, especially if you have children. I know, Tim, your vacation is a little different than mine, but on vacation this week, so that means I cannot do anything I want, right? Like, that's sometimes so right. Like, you go on vacation and then you want to, like, go on a vacation from your vacation because you just want to do your normal stuff. And I agree with you, Ron. You can't watch sports. So yesterday, Ron, the Cardinals split a doubleheader. The Thunder choked a game to the Pacers. And 2 nights ago, the Oilers beat the Panthers in overtime. There you go. You're caught up. You're caught up.
You're acting like the guy's been, like, away from all sort of technology and hasn't. You don't think he got a score notification last night for the game, man? He's literally watching on the internet right now. What do you think the station is?
I'm just giving him caught up on the last 2. There you go. See, thanks. He thanked me.
It was a pity. It was a pity. Thanks. It was a pity one.
Anyways,
Ron knows exactly what happened the last 24 hours, man.
All right, so that's my hockey hot take, and I didn't get this one on here. The one guy that wants this to happen, of course he does. Sign me up. He wants 7
more
overtime
hockey
games.
Anything that means more hockey, because once the series is done, he can't watch any hockey until October. Yeah, he wants as much as possible.
Yeah, there we go. Dan signed me up, and we got to get to all the comments today. My wife is on a walk, so I have my phone in my hand. Right, like, she's got to leave the room, and then you can find out what happened in sports. Like, oh, that's funny. That's so true too. All right, let's move to the next topic here. Are we done with Stanley Cup for now?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
All right, so on Tuesday, for those of you that are just tuning in or did not hear episode 71, on Tuesday, Tim gave me a list of 10 NFL head coaches. They were random, some good coaches, some new coaches, some struggling coaches, but 10 guys in a completely random order. And I had to, as they came in, place them in a spot. Tim's going to do the same thing, 1 through 10. So when I say a name, he's got to put them in order. No other names have been said. He's got to put that coach in a spot 1 through 10. I'll give him 10. We'll see how he does at the end. My list was pretty good on Tuesday.
It was good. It was good.
And so next Tuesday's show, I want to compare our two lists because I'll have my list. We don't have time today. Probably I'll compare my NFL list to your NBA list and see how we did. But are you ready, Tim? Are you ready for that?
I hope that they're all coaches that I know because I feel like we know NFL head coaches a lot better than NBA ones. But you know what? I host the show. I consider myself an expert. So let's do it.
I do think you're gonna know these. I do think you're gonna know all these guys. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
First one. Nick Nurse of the Philadelphia 76ers.
I like Nick Nurse. I really do. He is a champion. I do feel like you'll have some better coaches here, but I don't want to give Nurse too low of a ranking. So I'm going to put him at 4. Okay. I'm going to go Nick Nurse at 4.
Okay. Next up, Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, it's not a ton of coaches. I mean, who would you take over Steve Kerr right now? There's probably one guy I would confidently take over Steve Kerr. So I'm going to put him at 2 and hope that you have who I'm thinking of on the list.
So Nick Nurse is 4, Steve Kerr is 2 so far.
Yeah, I'm already nervous.
All right. Number 3 from the Atlanta Hawks is Quinn Snyder.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Quinn Snyder's actually a pretty underrated coach, but for this list, I have to assume that there'll be some guys better. So I'm going to put Quinn at 7.
Okay. Next up, the new Memphis Grizzlies coach Thomas Iasola.
You could have given me 100 million guesses of to who the new Memphis Grizzlies coach was after they fired Taylor Jenkins. I never would have did that. Well, he took over. They missed the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put him at 10. I don't. Well,
yeah, they did. They technically did because they lost in the play-in game. So yes,
yeah,
you're right.
I have no idea who he is. What's his name? Iasola.
Iisalo. Yeah, Iasola. Solo.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put him at 10. I have no idea who he is. So 10.
Good. So Nick Nurse at 4, Steve Kerr at 2, Quinn Snyder at 7, Thomas Iasola solo at 10. All right, let's move on to Chris Finch of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I like Finchy. I don't know if I like him more than Nick Nurse though, especially because you got to get a ring. So I'm going to put Finchy at 5.
Okay. I think you're off to a good. I really think you're off to a good start here. We'll
see. Yeah. There's still a lot of time left. We're halfway through the list here. A lot can change.
So you have 1, 3, 6, 8, 9 left. 1, 3, 6, 8, 9 left.
Yeah.
All right, we move on to the 6th coach on the list, and it is Joe Mazzulla from the Boston Celtics.
All right. Mazzulla's tough for me. Like I view Joe Mazzulla and Nick Sirianni in a similar sense where it's like, okay, clearly like you're somewhat fine, but I also feel like anyone can do your job.
Yeah, no, I'm probably right.
Right? Like, so but like 6 feels crazy low. Who you know what I'm gonna put 6. I'm gonna put 6. You know what, Joe? Like, stop watching The Town every night. Like, stop being weird. I'm gonna put him at 6. That might be the one where I look back and have some questions, but like, Finch, Nurse ahead of him. Like, it's okay. I'm okay with that.
1, 3, 8, 9 are left.
All right.
All right. I think you're going to get some good news here. Next up is Eric Spoelstra of the Miami Heat.
This is exactly who I was hoping for. Exactly why I put Kurt to. Spo is my number one. He is my number one. That was good.
Your list is going to hit here. So you've got Eric Spoelstra, number 1, Steve Kerr, 2. You do not have a 3. Nick Nurse is 4. Chris Finch is 5. Joe Mazzulla is 6. Quinn Snyder, 7. You do not have an 8 or a 9. And Thomas Isolo is 10. You got 3 left here.
All right.
Number 8 is Mark Daigneault from the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I mean, he's in the finals right now. Just coached a 68-win team. I can't put him at 8. So let's go 3 then.
You have 8 and 9 left.
Yeah. I'm hoping here that both of these coaches are just sort of like okay, and that I'm not gonna hurt myself by having a really good coach down this low.
Well, your first one, your ninth one is JJ Redick of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, I'll put JJ 8. I'll put JJ 8. Yeah, I'm good with that. And I like JJ a lot. But obviously inexperienced, so I'll go 8.
And I think you're in luck here because your last choice that you got to put number 9 is Chauncey Billups of the Portland Trailblazers.
Amazing.
I know.
Oh, I think I crushed it.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's very similar to how I did Tuesday. So here's your list. Yeah. Number one, Eric Spoelstra, Miami Heat. Number 2, Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors. Number 3, Mark Daigneault of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 4, Nick Nurse of the Philadelphia 76ers. So I can see those two interchanged. Nurse being 3, Daigneault being 4. Let's find out how this series goes.
You can make an argument. I mean, yeah, if Daigneault's team chokes, then yeah, we'll think differently. Yeah. And Nurse has the ring, but yeah, no, there's an argument for it for sure.
Chris Finch is 5 of Minnesota. Joe Mazzulla is 6 of Boston. You made a good point on Mazzulla. He could probably move up if I wouldn't necessarily be.
Mazzulla could be anywhere from 3 to 6 on this list, and you can make an argument for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, but like, there's no coach in front of him where I'm like, oh man, I definitely should have put Mazzulla ahead of him. Like, there's an argument for all of them.
Yeah. 7 is Quinn Snyder of the Atlanta Hawks. 8 is JJ Redick of the Los Angeles Lakers. 9 is Chauncey Billups of the Portland Trailblazers. And 10 is Thomas Isolo of the Memphis Grizzlies. And that is your blind NBA coaches rankings. Good work on this. Good work.
I'm extremely happy with how that turned out. I'm not going to lie to you. I was very nervous, but I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah, no, I think that works well. Good work on that, and we'll see what else we have coming up next week for the random games we've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more topic I wanted to. Well, actually, I have 2 more. I have 2 more here. Oh, I'll let you get to that.
Oh, I was going to say, is it me or am I just learning that Dan is having a baby? Well, not Dan, but like Dan's wife.
What a good friend. What a good friend. I didn't know it either, Dan. Congratulations.
I had. Well, so they've had this baby working for like 7+ months.
Oh, good friends we are, Dan. Good friends we are. Into July, you're like 6 weeks away, bro.
What?
Yeah.
That did I miss like some type of like announcement somewhere? Like there's no way that he had texted me this and mentioned it. There's no way.
I mean, yeah. Apparently there is. I don't know.
Well, congratulations.
It is. Hold on 1 second. Let me send a message.
Are you sending him a congratulatory message? As if the show wasn't enough here. So he said they announced in February. Yeah, I had. Cannot stress this enough, Dan. You and I talk frequently. One of my good friends. I had no idea that this was happening.
Yeah.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm just pointing out because I didn't want you to feel like, wow, Tim and Rodney have not mentioned anything to me in the way of congratulations, whatever. I had no idea. Maybe
no
I
idea.
was
Congrats,
I was not online that day. Oh man. Okay.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Let's move to so Manny Machado last night hit his 350th home run of his career. He is now part of 5 active players in Major League Baseball with 350 or more. But I feel like Machado is one of those guys that is like maybe polarizing a little bit. I don't know. Like he's obviously not, I don't know. He's not loved by a lot of baseball fans. He is by his people, and there's a crowd of them. But like, what's your thoughts on Manny Machado's legacy?
So it's he currently on a Hall of Fame trajectory?
That's a good question.
So let's break this down a little bit, right? So he's 32 years old. He's sitting at 350 home runs. He's going to finish well over 400 home runs, potentially a chance to play. And I like the good thing about him too is that he plays a lot. Like he doesn't miss time.
Yeah.
He plays a lot. So like he has an outside shot at 500 home runs for his career.
Right.
While being considered one of the best defensive third basemen of his era. He only has 6 All-Star appearances, which I find very low. But like All-Star, like whatever. But Gold Gloves, doesn't have a ring, but like doesn't really matter too much for baseball. I mean, he's probably gonna have a really good shot to be a Hall of Famer. But yet it's a Hall of Famer who at no point did we put him in the conversation as, oh, is this guy the best player in baseball? Because if you remember, he came up in 2012. That was right when Mike Trout and Bryce Harper were having their rookie seasons. So he was always sort of overshadowed by those two guys. And it seems like his whole career, he's been overshadowed by someone, right? Like Baltimore, he was, when he was coming up, that was when the team wasn't very good. But like on a league wide level, he was overshadowed by Trout, Harper, all those guys. Then, he spends half year with the Dodgers, gets to the World Series, but like that's a loaded Dodgers team. Then he signs in San Diego. And by the time that San Diego really got good, Machado wasn't the face of that team. It was Fernando Tatis. It's like Machado was once again overshadowed like by his own teammate, right? In terms of, who's one of the best young and great players in baseball. So he's had a very, I'll say like a very underrated, consistently good career that I think when it's all said and done, we're going to look at the numbers and it's going to be a little similar to Adrian Beltre, where like later on in his career, we started realizing, oh shit, Adrian Beltre is going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, I think that's where we're headed with Manny Machado, because you assume at 32, he's got a lot of baseball left still.
Yeah, for sure. So let me ask you this one. I said he's one of 5 guys with 350 plus home runs in his career that are active right now. Can you name those other 4? Or have you seen?
So say that again. I'm sorry.
So Manny Machado became the 5th current active player to hit 350 plus home runs. Okay. So there's 5 guys right now with 350 or more. Can you name the other 4?
Active players. Okay. I think Trout has over 350.
Trout is one of them. Yes.
Okay. Does Freddie Freeman have 350 yet?
Freddie Freeman is one of them.
Okay. So it's those two.
Trout is 2. Freddie is 4. You need 1, 3, 1 and 3. There's somebody with even more, with the most.
Who? I'm having a bear. Who? Salvador Perez doesn't have 350 yet, does he?
He does not, and I could give you a slight hint, and this would really give it away to you.
Hold on. What about Nolan Arenado?
He's not, but he's at 348.
He's okay. Paul Goldschmidt.
Paul Goldschmidt he's third on the list.
Okay.
So
I'll
give
still
you
missing number one.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to give you a pass because he's currently out.
He's out. How out are we talking?
Like out, not playing. I don't know when the last time he played is, but you would probably know this because you follow this team.
Oh, Stanton.
Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton. Yeah. Stanton had, I believe, 429. I said, Arenado, Harper, and Judge will all get to 350 this year, though. So, I mean, obviously, pending Arenado needs 2 more. I think Harper just needs like less than 10, and Judge is going to get to like 700 this year on his pace. So, so Giancarlo Stanton, Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt, Freddie Freeman, and now Manny Machado, all with 350 plus home runs.
That's a much smaller list. It's funny, right? It's like, oh, this is the power hitting era. Everyone's hitting home runs, but yet we don't have guys in the league right now who you're like, oh, they're for sure going to hit over 500. Like, so real quick, out of that group, who do you think gets to 500?
Out of those Stanton, 5 currently?
Yeah. So let's start at the top. So Stanton is the closest.
429.
Yeah. But
71 more. He's 35 years old.
I think he's going to finish just short. I think he's going to be like 470, 480, around that range.
Trout. I mean, gosh,
I don't think Trout will.
Guy can't stay on the field.
I don't think he will.
Goldschmidt's not going to make it. Freddie's not going to make it.
How old is Freddie?
Freddie is
also Freddie Freeman. I looked him up yesterday because he's got over 2,300 hits right now.
Freddie's 35 years old too, dude.
Okay, so I think is Freddie close to 3,000 hits? Is that even the conversation?
He's at he needs 644 more.
Yeah, it's a lot of hits.
There's a lot of hits.
Speaking of Freddie Freeman, man, I feel like every time he steps up to the plate, he's just gonna rope a double opposite field. Every single damn time that guy's up at bat, he just gets.
So I
hate it.
He's in St. Louis this weekend too. So that's not going to go well. It's sunny gray tonight against Freddie Freeman. But so I think what we're saying here is Aaron Judge is going to be the next one to get to 500.
I think. Yeah, but even that's not a guarantee because Aaron Judge is also older than you think he is. I mean, he's 33.
But I mean, he's not too far behind Bryce Harper. He's going to hit more than Harper over the next.
You would think
5 years.
I mean, obviously Aaron Judge the last few years has been at an incredible pace.
Yeah,
but also, we're assuming that he's going to be hitting 40 plus home runs a year well after 35.
Right.
That's
kind of crazy. It's crazy to think
that's
that the days of 500 are struggling. We're not getting to 500 nearly as much as we used to.
In a power hitting era. Yeah.
One more stat on Manny Machado. He is now 101st all time in home runs. One more and he'll be top 100, tied with Dick Allen. Remember Dick Allen? No, me neither do I. But anyways,
I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't remember watching Dick Allen. I'm a little younger still.
He hit 351 career home runs. All right, hey, one more topic I want to get to real fast. Phil Mickelson just yesterday was doubling down on the LIV Tour, saying what is happening is working. They're getting global events and they're getting guys to play when they want to instead of when they have to. 2 minutes on LIV. Is LIV living up to the hype that you think it should be?
Well, I had very, very low expectations for LIV in the first place, and it's somehow under-delivered on those expectations. No, it's not working. People have gone to LIV. They've immediately faded into irrelevance. I think the only person that's gone to LIV that has still remained in the real golf spotlight based on their performance is Bryson DeChambeau. And Bryson DeChambeau does a lot of his own publicity and running his YouTube channel and doing content that keeps him top of mind for golf fans. but no one else in Live has that same type of reputation right now. No, like it's a joke, man. Like it's a joke. It's a 3-day tournament where they're blasting music. They're all either in Middle Eastern courses or Trump courses. Like they're not. It's not at all competing with the PGA Tour, because you look at any PGA Tour event and their ratings. Like look at the Memorial this last weekend, and then compare it to any Live tournament that they've had. Right? Like it's not even close. And as far as, I like how you said Phil doubling down. If Phil Mickelson is doubling down or betting on anything, the smart play is to do the opposite of what Phil Mickelson is saying, because Phil Mickelson, historically, is not a good bet, just in general. So that's my thoughts on Live.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you there. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. He spent like 2 minutes talking about how it's doing what it's supposed to do. He just doesn't know the timeline for when it'll actually explode. But yeah, it'll be interesting. So, all right, I think that's about all the topics I had today. Yeah, let's get to our Mount Rushmore of 72s.
Would it shock you if I told you that there is a legitimate, I think, Hall of Fame baseball player who spent his a good portion of his career wearing number 72?
Who is that?
Now, he didn't do it with the Red Sox, but he did it for 13 years with the White Sox. Carlton Fisk wore number 72.
Yes, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Okay.
1981 through 1993. So I'm going to go ahead and say Carlton Fisk, welcome to the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
100%. NFL, we have Too Tall Jones. We have Matt Lights. We have Dan Deerdorf. I know Dan Deerdorf more from his media days as opposed to his football playing days, which ended in 1983. But some solid linemen there. Too Tall Jones. It's a Super Bowl champ with the Dallas Cowboys. It's a good name, Too Tall. That should be my nickname one of these shows. Too Tall.
Too Tall.
Too Tall. No one really from the NBA, and then NHL. We have quite a few. Your former, I think it was started off as a Blue, if I'm not mistaken, Tage Thompson.
Okay,
that was the Ryan O'Reilly trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tage Thompson currently wears number 72 with the Sabres. Stanley Cup winning goaltender, current Stanley Cup participant, Sergei Bobrovsky is number 72. Wow. So Bob, I think, is a real good shot to be on the list. Other hockey players, I see Thomas Chabot from the Ottawa Senators, Philip Keitel from the Rangers and Canucks. A couple other dudes with Justin Falk, wears 72 with the Blues. So I would say for sure Carlton Fisk.
Yes.
I would say for sure Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yes.
And how do you want to fill out the other two?
Pretty gross from here. I mean, you can't.
It's a lot of good, but not great.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put Justin. I mean, we've passed up too many good hockey players for Justin Falk to be on this list, right?
But it is. Yeah, we're not putting Justin Falk on the list. If you want some NFL guys that are more sort of in our like range, not Dan Deerdorf, Teron Armstead, the really good offensive lineman, New Orleans Saints, currently Miami Dolphin, 5-time Pro Bowlers, number 72. This one, technically not high on the average, the career WAR or whatever it is for NFL, but near and dear to my heart, number 72, OCU Minora.
Okay.
2 Super Bowl championship Giant teams.
So we can go with him. We can go with OC. I don't know. Like, I feel like Deerdorf could be part of this just because he's got the playing and the media legacy.
That's true. But like, if you give me OCU Minora, I suppose I could give you Justin Falk too, if you'd rather do that.
I don't need Justin Falk on this list.
Okay.
So I'm torn here. I don't know which way to go.
Do you want to do let's just do Deerdorf and OC, and then we'll at the corners and with the faces that are a little bit bigger, we'll go Bob and Carlton Fisk.
I mean, OC won two Super Bowls. I think that's okay. Yeah, we can put him on the list. That works.
He had 6 sacks in a Monday night game against the Bears, I think, way back.
That works. It's not the worst, not the best. We say that about all these numbers here. 73 might be a worst when we get to that on Tuesday.
I'll say though, the 70s have already gone much better than the 60s have.
Yes, but I'll also say the 80s will go better than the 70s.
80s and 90s will have fun.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up for the show today. We are at the hour mark. Substack, make sure you get signed up. I am behind for this month. I'm behind about 4 units or so. That's okay. We're still up about 30 for the year. Get signed up for our Substack and get daily picks in there. We'll do a WNBA, NBA Finals, NHL, Stanley Cup, Major League Baseball. About all we got right now. Of course, that'll convert into football, and we'll keep moving. But we have done it every day of the year so far. Every day of 2025, there has been picks in your inbox. Also, sign up or follow us on Twitter, not X, Stupid Sports Show. And I want to give you a 10-second question here.
Yeah.
Who's winning the X beef, Elon Musk or Donald Trump?
I tell you who's losing.
Yeah. Anyways, that is going on. So if you follow us on Twitter, not X, you can also follow the beef between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And that is about all I have for today.
So much winning happening right now. I'm tired of all the winning. If you want to listen to any of our 72 episodes of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth, you can do so wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, iHeart. Make sure to give us a subscribe, rating, a review, then unsubscribe, and then resubscribe. Pump up our numbers, help us take down McAfee. And that does it for our show. This was a fun show. Good way to start our Fridays. Heading into the weekend, we got Stanley Cup Game 2 tonight. We got NBA Finals Game 2 on Sunday. Then we'll be back on Tuesday night to recap everything, to give more takes, maybe more blind rankings. We might have stumbled on something real good here. I don't want to overkill it, but definitely could see it being part of the summer rotation as we try to fill up time until we get to football.
Yeah, and I'm keeping your list, and I'm going to put it with my list, and we're going to recap both of them on Tuesday. Maybe anybody that's listening can vote whose is better.
We can put that on the polls there. I think that's a good option. So anyway, for Rodney Newpol and from his heavenly estates, this is Tim the Glide Van Stratton. We'll talk to you again Tuesday nights. This has officially been the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys. Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.